Hello, hello, and happy Facebook Live time. Happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Always so much fun. My name is Melissa Kerman with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I sell all the products that I show in my projects. I've got a lot of fun tonight. I've got a fairly simple project. It's a kind of card that I've wanted to make for a long time, so I'm happy to have made one and get to share it with you. And I've also got some announcements and updates. Plus, I was traveling this past week, and I have a bunch of things to show you from my trip for the onstage event that I attended this past week. So that's what I got going. Hi, MJ. Glad to see you here. Glad to see people joining in. I know I'm talking kind of fast, so I've got a project for you today. It's called a, what is it called? Floating strips card. And let's see what else. And then I got a bunch of announcements. Hi, Jolene. Glad to see you joining in. So let's go ahead and launch right in with the announcement. So first of all, don't forget to tag your friends so that they can watch this video as well, and follow and like my Facebook page and subscribe to my YouTube channel, all those good things. So share the post. I really appreciate it, and the video as well. Hi, Nell. So glad you're here. Yay. All right, so the updates. There's a seasonal sale going on right now at Stampin' Up. It ends tomorrow. It's been going on for the last few days, and there are things on sale in the annual catalog. 10% off punches, 15% on stamp sets, 20% on dies, embossing folders, and designer series paper. Now, only the designer series paper on sale is the regular designer series paper, not specialty paper. So that's just one distinction. And then, of course, nothing in the mini catalog is included. So this is all products in the annual catalog that are on sale. Now, I am also doing a Black Friday seasonal sale, whatever you want to call it. But my sale actually goes through the end of November. Now, that's going to be kind of a while supplies last kind of thing, that sort of thing. So I may end it abruptly if I need to, but my sale is you're going to get, when you place a $75 order using my host code. Hi, Jan. Using my host code, you will get to pick a stamp set for free from me, okay? That's, I am setting the cap at an $18 set, but if you take advantage of this special and you get a stamp set that's in the annual catalog, you'll be able to get a better value set as well. So I looked at some of the numbers, and if you got an $18 set, you would actually be able to buy it for $15.30, or I would be able to buy it on your behalf for $15.30. So instead, during the sale, you can get a $21 set, which will be, the actual cost will be $17.85. So you can get that set through tomorrow as a free item from me, but you do have to place your order in the next 24 hours, so before the sale is over, so that I can actually place that order for you and get that discounted price. So I probably should set that deadline for, let's say, 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So same time as tonight. So that way I'll be able to get that higher price set for you for free. So again, my Black Friday sale goes through the end of the month, but if you want to get a higher valued stamp set for free from me, place your $75 order using the host code before 7 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, so and then beyond that, your cap will be an $18 set all the way to the end of the month. So that's a pretty good deal, I would say. Now that offer can't be combined with other offers, so you're choosing a free stamp set over, what I usually do, which is a free embellishment for orders over 50. So anyway, still pretty good deal, I think. So I hope some of you will take advantage of the seasonal sale and also my Black Friday sale, my 2-week-long Black Friday sale. All right, let's see what else. The Graceful Tiles stamp set class, the registration is closed for getting a kit for that class, but you can still get the PDF. The PDF is now available as an instant download. There'll be a link in this video description of the video tonight if you're interested in getting that. It's 5 projects designed by the Makers Mojo Creative Design team, and they are wonderful projects. I love the Graceful Tile stamp set, and if you buy it today, as I mentioned earlier, it's an $18 set, so you only pay $15.30 for it. So it's an awesome set. I love it. I love the style of that Graceful Tile set. Okay, moving right along. I have another class that I'm just launching today featuring the Fitting Florets product suite. Hi, Marlene. Glad to see you here. Now, you guys may be aware that the Fitting Florets bundle is, it's called something else, something Florets, is going to be available in the mini catalog starting in January. But the consumables that go with it are only available while supplies last. And I just learned today that the embellishments, let me grab them here, I'm gonna sneak under the camera. So sneaky, right? These ones right here, they're called, what are they called? The gold adhesive back swirls. I learned today these are completely gone. They're all out. They were going to be part of the class. They are no longer part of the class because nobody can get them anymore. So that's a real bummer. So we reworked things just a little bit. With the class, you'll get some designer series paper. You'll get a Blends alcohol mark combo pack. You'll get a pack of rhinestones and a roll of ribbon, all which you will use in the class to make the projects. Now for the Fitting Florets class, I am partnering with my friend and fellow talented demonstrator, Lisa Tedder. You may be familiar with her. She's very technique oriented, just like I am. And we've been teaming up on some things recently. So she and I are going to design the projects. They're going to be 6 projects. She will design 3. I will design 3. And those details will be in the video description of this video as well. So you can check that out. Let's see what else. Oh yes, okay, and of course the RSVP deadline for the Fitting Florets class is December 1. Now that said, the designer series paper, which I'm going to show you today, is one of the consumables that's only available while supplies last. So I am just crossing my fingers that that doesn't run out. So as people sign up, I'm going to be ordering paper to fulfill those requests to make sure that I can get it and it doesn't run out. So sign up sooner rather than later if you really want this class. So yes, December 1 is the deadline, but do it sooner if you really want it. Okay, what else? So last week, if you guys keep up with me on my newsletter, I was gone from Wednesday until Sunday. I was in Arlington, Texas for the Stampin' Up! On Stage local event. And I was also there doing an event I called Creative Extravaganza. I partnered with fellow demonstrator Mary Beth Ravenscroft, who lives in that area, and my team member, Shelly Nichols. Both of them were my partners in crime, my left and right hands. Now, it was a ton of work, I am not going to lie. And the projects that you see back there, I'm giving you a little sneak peek. They're a little bit close. Maybe I should hide them some. You can't see them. Anyway, I have some kits to go, some that I packed up just to have some extra. Now I have a list running of people who have said they're interested in that class to go. You would get all the same things that everybody got in person, just via mail. Plus I'm going to add in, all the die cuts will be done for you. And I will be including some gel medium in that because we did do some kind of mixed media fun stuff. So that's going to be an option for those first come, first serve. I will be reaching out to you if you are one of those people who said you were interested in that class to go option with a kit. And if you would just like the electronic documents, I have created a PDF for all the projects. There were 5 techniques that I shared. And then some of the other projects were a little bit simpler. There was an ornament, actually, yeah, not all of the projects are up there, but most of them are. All right, so the PDF is gonna be $35. It's 55 pages long, pictures, detailed step-by-step instructions, and if I might say so myself, pretty awesome projects. So I will just say also, it was a ton of work, but it was so much fun. I got to meet team members that I had never met before, that I only met online. I got to meet customers and people who follow me on Facebook that I have never met, that were just so lovely, just a beautiful, lovely group of women. And I loved it. I just loved every minute of it. I would do it again in a heartbeat Well, maybe not in a heartbeat. I think about it because because it was a ton of work. It took me a full day just to put everything away, unpack and all that. And that's not to speak of all the time on the front end, prepping and preparing and designing and all that. But it is what I do this for, to connect with other people who love the craft, and to be able to craft together and teach and learn together was just, it was phenomenal. It was really wonderful. And I can't thank the people who attended enough for joining me for that enthusiastically. And I also met some women in the group who also earned the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip. Now, I have to give a disclaimer that it's a very small group of people that earn this trip. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of time, and I can't even begin to tell you how much. And many of you helped me earn this trip, the Norway trip, which is next year. But I got to meet some of my fellow earners, people who earned that trip. And I'm so excited that I know some new people that will be going on the trip that I'll be able to enjoy it with. So, and if you're joining in here, you know who you are. So much fun. Alrighty, that is pretty much it for my updates. I'm gonna face the camera down and get started with the project. Please share this video, tag your friends, and whether it's here in Facebook or in YouTube, and whether it's live or on the replay, please do that. I appreciate it. And leave comments because I love to hear from you as well. So let's face the camera down and we will get started. And I'm not gonna make the mistake of pressing the finish button, which I have done before. Oh my goodness, yes. All right, so let's face the camera down to my workspace. All right, so there's just kind of the quick little recap of all the reminders. Hi, Lorene, it's so good to see you here. Let's see. Okay, so so you see the current host code there. If you're going to take advantage of some of the things that I'm offering, you need to use the host code. Now, if you forget to use the host code, I do offer a gift for people who purchase, and there's a link in the thank you email, so you'll get a thank you email. And what I've started doing now is if you request the gift, if you're eligible for it, then I will assume you want the host code added if you have not already added it, because you do have to use the host code in order to get the perks from me and the giveaways and stuff. All right, so there's the details on the seasonal sale, and it's tomorrow, Black Friday sale. Goes through November 30th, but you can get a better deal if you do it during the seasonal sale, which ends tomorrow. The Graceful Tiles PDF download is available now. Link in the description of the video, and details about fitting florets is also there. And again, share, tag, follow, like, all those good things. All right, so I'm going to take that away and show you what I got. So what we're doing is, this is actually my project for the Color Fusers blog hop, which I do. We have a color challenge each month, and the one that went live earlier this month was kind of a challenging color scheme, and I thought it might be perfect to do this style card with it. So the color scheme is Pumpkin Pie, Shaded Spruce, and Poppy Parade. Not a color scheme I would maybe ever put together. But check that out. If this is the floating strips, you can see it shiny in there, and it's popped up on dimensionals. This is from the, it's that Plentiful Plants stamp set, and I love that font. I love that little love you. It's so cute, right? And then, the names of the dies. The Meadow dies, which I absolutely adore. So that's what this one is made with. And this one is Meadow dies again, same color scheme, and I just used one of the scallop contour dies for it. And again, it's popped up, and you can see how it's just kind of floating there. So I love how both of these turned out, and I used some different things in the background. The deckled dies in the background here, the stitched rectangles here. So I am not going to remake one of these. I'm going to make something different because, you know, that's the way I am, and it's fun. So I'm going to show you a different card, which I haven't even totally designed, so you're going to get to do it with me. So what we're using, surprise, surprise, is products from the Fitting Florets product suite. I'm just going to get rid of this glare a little bit. So I'm using an image from it here, and then I'm using some of the dies in the set of dies right here. So they wouldn't all fit on one piece, but we're going to be using mostly the frames on here and one of the dies. So that is the bundle. Now, the class that I'm doing, you do need the bundle, but you don't have to buy the bundle from me. If you do buy it from me because you've bought a kit, you can purchase the bundle add-on and not pay for shipping for it. I will pay for tax and shipping on it for you, and you'll just pay the retail price of the stamp set. So this is the paper that's available for a limited time. This is the Fitting Florets Designer Series paper. Gorgeous, gorgeous paper and patterns. So this is what I'm going to be using for my floating strips card. So there's my front side patterns right there. I love the color scheme as well. And I love taking color schemes from Designer Series paper. Just really is a great jumping off point for creativity and finding a color scheme. So there's all of them. So pretty, right? Okay, so let's show you what I got. Okay, so we are going to start with a window sheet. Maybe that's not a surprise. So I'm going to start with a fairly big one. And for this one, I am going to use this large die. And again, I have not done this yet. So I've not pre-done it. I'm going to do it here live with you. So I've got some strips of the designer paper that I cut. They're 1/2 inch, maybe a hair less than a 1/2 inch wide. And I am going to place them on here. Now, the position of my die needs to fit onto this plastic piece like this. So that's how I'm going to sort of eyeball how I want my designer paper strips to be on here. And every once in a while, I'm going to bring that back on. And I've got my pieces on my silicone craft mat because they already have adhesive on the back. You guys know how I like to do that. Comment here if you have ever made a floating strips card, or maybe even a floating anything card, because I'm having visions of doing this with other floating elements, just because, you know, it sounds like fun. All right, so I'm going to grab my next strip. I went through these and just kind of tried to figure out how I wanted the order to be and how I wanted the colors arranged, and yeah, this is what I settled on. And it doesn't actually have to go all the way to the edge because it just needs to go as far as the die will go. This is one of my favorite patterns, this floral one here. Now there are also some shapes. Hi, Pam. Good to see you here. Pam, I have met Pam before, but I met her and didn't know who she was. She took a picture of me and my team years ago. And then, but we got to sort of meet officially at On Stage this year, so it was so much fun. And I have a couple things that she made to share with you at the end of the video. So I'm going to show what I got in the way of goodies from Stampin' Up and cards that I got from people who shared them in swaps and whatnot. I didn't manage to make any swaps, go figure. Preparing for my event, it just made it a little bit hard. But I did come home with some really fun goodies and cards that people, you know, gave me because they're sweet. Sweet people. And one of my favorite things that I came home with is something that Pam made. I don't think I told you that, Pam. But stay tuned, you'll get to see that in a little bit. So you've not made a floating card, Julia? Okay, well, so I'm so glad. I love to show something that people have not seen. So I will tell you, for the Creative Extravaganza, which was a full day event with 8 projects, probably could have done a little bit less because it was very full. This was a group of, you know, a good fraction of the people had 15 to 20 years of, you know, paper crafting experience. I did a little survey beforehand. And one of my challenges with something like that is I always want to share something new. I want to teach something new. And so I'm so happy when that actually happens. And I think it did happen at this event. I think I showed these veteran crafters something that they had not seen before. And that always makes me happy. All right, so I've got some scraps in here. And I have to decide if I want to use them as is. I think I will. These are actually from another one that I made. I'll show you in a bit. Oh, you made some with these, Elizabeth? Wonderful. It was a challenge. Oh, well, you'll have to tell me why it was challenging. Hopefully I won't have the same challenges. I never like to, I always want it to go smoothly when I'm on camera, right? Let's go ahead and put this pink one at the bottom. Why not? Okay. All right, so now I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to trim off the excess pieces off the edge, because otherwise I think it'll get stuck in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Where am I? Okay. Which ones do I need to cut off? And it's going like this. So I don't want to cut off too much, but sometimes it's nice to have some extra strips so you can use them for something else. Okay, so I probably could have gone in there. Let's do that. And some of these have adhesive on them, so where they do, I want to make sure that they're not getting stuck. Okay, none of those have adhesive. That one does, though. Okay, and let's trim off the edge of this one. Okay, I love my silicone craft mat in part for that, right? Because nothing sticks to it. It's a lovely thing. Really comes in handy. Okay, so let's grab my die cut machine. I'm actually really excited to see how this is going to work out, because I played around with using this die and cutting to see what shapes I would get. Oh, I think I need a little bit more on the ends, don't I? Yes, I do. Okay, good thing I have some more. So let's see. You can see how it's coming off the edge, and the die cuts all the way to the edge. So we're going to stick a few more on there. The question is, which ones do I want to do? I really like this one. It's not going to show much, though. Let's do... this one has adhesive. This is the one to do. Keep it simple, right? Okay, we'll get that on there. Trim it off. And, oh, the back looks good too, doesn't it? Not going to be using the back, of course. Okay, let's try this and see how close I am, what I need. Okay, now that actually, I think that's all that I need. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Okay, so I'm just putting it in my die cutting machine, making sure that designer paper extends out beyond the die in all the parts. And here we go. Ah, yes. So actually, just in time, Elizabeth, I read your comment. Trouble cutting the window sheet. I'm going to go back and forth a few times with that challenge in mind, right? To make sure it actually cuts through, because the window sheet is a little bit hard to cut through. Okay. Let's see if we did it. All right. Oh my. I guess I'm having the same trouble you had. Oh my goodness gracious. I didn't have trouble with this when I did it the first time. Okay, I guess I have to line it up and try it again. I went through twice. You guys saw me, right? You saw me. I did it for real. Let's line this baby up and see if I can make it happen. Second time around. You know what? Sometimes I find when you turn it upside down, so the blade facing up, that it can help cut through. The challenge is always making sure it stays in place, right? Let's just hold it like that. Turn it over and look. It feels like it's nested properly. Cross our fingers. I got a second one that's done, so just in case this one doesn't go through right, I'll be able to have another one done. Okay, let's do this. And we're going to go through a few times again. Not being extra. How many times is that? 4 times. Let's see if that worked. Well, the die came off. Okay, let's see. Maybe it's because it's such a detailed die. The first time I did it, it was came off like just without a problem at all. But clearly, that is not the case with this one because, oh gosh, that's annoying. I wonder why. Maybe it's a thicker window sheet for some reason. Okay. I might just have to actually cut that around the edge. Maybe I could try that. Okay, let's try that. Let's move this away. You know, most people that watch videos on Facebook, people tell you, people tell me, they like it when we make mistakes, right? Because, you know, we're just human, right? And, but being on camera, who likes to make mistakes, right? Not me. You just wanted to go super smooth. But this is working. I mean, I got the groove there, right? Just a matter of getting it. But I'll show you how this die is supposed to cut. It does look like it cut off a little extra, like it jumped a little bit. It didn't actually cut it all the way through at all. Anywhere along this, it just created an indent. Maybe if I put a shim in there, it would work. Give it a little bit more thickness. Okay, let's see if we get this done. And notice, let's see, whatever the piece of designer paper that was on there apparently didn't have enough adhesive on it, so it came off. Well, this is just an experiment. A risk to say a failed experiment. I had grand hopes on this because the inside piece, let me show you how this is supposed to cut. So annoying. Okay, let's show you how it's supposed to cut. I was really excited to see how this looked. So when you use this die, it cuts out these two pieces at the same time. So that inside of this should have come out. And because it's not cutting, I'd have to cut the inside as well. But I really wanted to have the oval on the inside to use as a separate piece from the outside. And I was excited to see how this would look as the die cut piece. But I don't want to sit here and cut all this. So we're going to try another one. And I'm going to try using a shim for this other one. And we'll cross our fingers and hope that it works. So I have done the same thing with this piece and with another one of the dies in the set. So let's cross our fingers and hope that this works better. So this is the die that I'm going to work on with this piece here. Just a simpler, smaller little oval. And I'm just going to grab a shim. Now the trick with this is not using too thick a shim. And when I say a shim, I just mean something that gives you a little bit more thickness now to help cut through the blades. So you can see how thick that is. It's just a piece of chipboard. So, and then I've also got some just paper here. So if this is too thick, then I'm gonna try using this. So let's just see how we can make this work. All right. So, okay, so we got our pieces attached already. You can see them. And my die, place that on there. I think maybe I'll do it upside down. And then I'm going to put, let's see, we're going to try this shim first. Place that over the top. And then my second cutting blade. I wonder if it's going to try to cut through that. Maybe I should do this on the top. That's what I'll do. It's going to try to cut through the cardboard, and that's probably not a good thing. So if it's too tight, then I'm not going to proceed. But I'm going to try this, see if I can get it to work. It might be too thick. Okay, hold on. Let's see if that moved. Okay. Ooh, it's pretty thick. Ooh, this is my workout for the day. Actually, I did yoga this morning. Ah, okay. Nope, don't force the machine. It's not wanting to go. So this piece of chipboard is too thick. So let's try this paper, which is really not very thick at all. But I'm gonna make it 4 layers because I don't think 2 layers is gonna be enough. So let's just try that. I don't mind if this one cuts, but okay, let's see. Make sure this is in the right spot. Ooh, it started cutting up there. Okay, now we have to line it up. Well, this is far more challenging than I expected it to be. So this is me. I think I'm going to use some washi tape on that because it already started making a cut, so I don't want it to be in the wrong place. All right, let's do that. All right. Here we go. Thick, but not too thick. Hi, Allison. Good to see you here. Okay, we're going to go through a few times. I promise you, this did not work. This was not this hard when the first 2 cards that I did. It kind of worked like a dream. No problem at all. Cut through the plastic, and you know, I might have had to pull it apart a little bit, but not like what you're seeing here. So you just never know how it's going to work out. Oh, I think it's working better. I think so. Let's try it. Ah, yes. Yay! Some of it cut. So happy. Oh, it's ripping my paper now. I feel like this is a comedy of errors. Okay. Let's see. Okay, well, now I have to cover up that piece that got damaged by the washi. So the washi gets pushed into it, right? So it makes it more sticky. Stuck to it more. Okay, don't need to worry about that part. And again, I'm going to show you how this die is supposed to cut with just a regular piece of cardstock. Whew, I think this is happening. So again, this inside piece is supposed to separate. Okay, let me show you the die. What cutting it with cardstock does. There's that. Okay, how this die is supposed to work and how it works just perfectly when you do it with cardstock. So it's 2 pieces. So those 2 pieces, right? So here, it's not wanting to separate because of the thickness of the plastic right in there. But I actually think it looks kind of nice, just like that. So it doesn't have to actually do that. So I'm going to use this as is. Isn't that cool? I think it looks cool. All right, so I'm just going to move things aside and move on to the next step. And we'll make a card from this one, which I intended to do anyway. So I'm going to use the edge of my dimensional piece to pop this up. Make sure I'm actually just getting it on the designer paper because I want it to be hidden. And I love that the thickness, how thin this is just the perfect amount for these strips. And then I'm going to use the strip on the second side. Now I could be cutting my dimensionals in half as well, but I like using the strips because it just gives you really good coverage really quickly. Okay, let's just do some small segments on this. Okay, that should do it. So I've got that all covered. And I love all that designer paper together. I think it looks really pretty. All right. So now, where's my card base? So I'm keeping the rest of this pretty simple, and maybe you guys want to chime in on your opinion. On the original one, I used this piece of this die-cut deckled piece, and that was just my background. I'll bring in those other two that I did already. So that's the one with the circle. This is just the layering circles die that I cut that out. And again, I had no trouble cutting it out, unlike today. And I had no trouble cutting out the scallop either. So for some reason it's hard today. All right, so this is just gonna get popped up on here, and I'm really liking how that's looking. And I also have one of these dry embossed pieces with the, what is this one called? Time Worn Type embossing. Use that for this background piece. And then this one is the, what is it called? Painted something, I can't remember. So I kind of think that's a little bit busier than I want it to be. I think that one's not bad. I think I'm just gonna go with the deckled again. That's what I'm liking. Chime in if you have a preference. All right, so now I die cut some of the foliage from this, and I wanted to bring in one of the sentiments. Now, I don't know about you guys, when I cut lots of cardstock, I end up with all these little tiny bits and pieces, and they come in handy when you're doing sentiments. So I'm gonna just grab one of these really thin ones, because the sentiment I want to use is this, it's upside down, celebrate. My daughter is graduating from nursing school really soon, so I have celebrations in my mind, I should say. So I'm going to use some Evening Evergreen, which is one of the colors in this designer paper. And I'm going to need to cut this down just a bit. And it's really hard to see when doing a white piece on white. So I'm bringing in a little piece of green. And that helps me see the edges of my white cardstock. So there's that. And I think I'm just gonna snip it off. Maybe have it hang off the edge or something. Keep that real simple. And we're gonna just kind of play around with our positioning just a bit. Could be up there. And I've die cut a couple of the elements from the set of dies. One in Evening Evergreen and the other one in Soft Succulent. So I had in mind that I would just place them around the oval. Now this has some rolled up glue dots in the center, and then I've put a little bit of white glue along the bottom and allowed it to dry. So it's tacky, not goopy, easy to work with. I let that sit for, it's been sitting there for a little while, maybe half an hour this afternoon, and then more on this piece. That way, this is just gonna be really easy to place. So let's go ahead and find where I want those. And maybe I'll put the celebrate down there. Don't know how much I'm liking that one at the top. But it kind of needs to curve with the shape, right? So let's just do it. Just like that. Let's see how it looks upside down. The green at the top and the pink at the bottom. No, I like it the other way better. This is how I play. This is how I design. And I fiddle and I fuss and I take pictures of what I've done, and then I compare the pictures, one layout to the other, to see what I think. Okay, I think I'm just going to go with that. I like it sort of curving around the top edge and the bottom edge. Let's go ahead and attach this. I had actually thought that I might stamp the sentiment right on one of the designer paper panels, like maybe in there, which could also look nice. So that's just another alternative. Let's get this figured out before so that I know. Yeah, maybe, I think I still want it at the bottom. Okay, this is what we're doing. I wanted to cover the torn bit. Oh, yes. Ah, you're right. It's a little busy in there, huh? Let's do this. Let's grab. Let's see. Thank you for that reminder, Rita. Everybody, we need a little help from our friends, right? So I got some Blends alcohol markers. I don't really want to put the sentiment over that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, it's not actually bad. Okay, so that is one option. But of course now I've justified it up tall, so it doesn't actually work there. I got all this extra room down here, unless I bring in some ribbon. There's another idea. Let's see. So one of the colors in here is polished pink. And then we've also got evening evergreen in here, so I could tie a ribbon around the bottom. That's a little bright. I'm going to grab my evening evergreen ribbon because that might actually be the better match. Be right back. I love this open weave ribbon. Ooh, I don't know. The pink sort of balances from the top, don't you think? What do we think? I'm just going to tie it on and see what we think. Get ready to give me an opinion. So the question is, am I covering that little spot with my sentiment, or am I going to color it in? The pink is a little too bright because there's not enough pink on there. Let's try this. Oh, you like the pink, Elizabeth? I don't know. It just seemed so strong to me. Not sure I like the green either. I'm a picky crafter. I like what I like, but then that's true for most of us, right? So it's that with my sentiment right there in the middle. Or I color over that spot that got messed up with my Blends alcohol marker. That's dark, so let's try starting with light. I like options. I mostly went over the it's all green, so that might just be fine. I think afraid that the evening evergreen will be a little too dark. Ooh, managing to hide that pretty well. I think I'm okay with that. That's pretty good, huh? It's well hidden. A bow on the sprig to cover it. Oh yeah, there's another idea. So many ideas. We could be here all night long, right? So there's that. Or we just go straight across. Fiddling, fiddling, fiddling. Just like that. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay, option one, just put the sentiment at the bottom. Call it done. Option two, I'm going to rely on you guys to comment and let me know. Sentiment on the thing, and this straight across the bottom. And option number three, bring the sentiment down here on top of the ribbon. Okay. The green looks great. The green straight across. I think I kind of liked the tie. I'm going to do this green. Let's just try that again. I'm looking for comments. We have Lisa's opinion. Who else out there wants to weigh in? The sentiment on the ribbon, says Julia. I appreciate your help, guys. It's fun, crafting together. Okay, I'm not doing that. That's causing me some trouble. You know what I really want is I want this ribbon to be soft succulent. Ooh, I have soft succulent. I don't have soft succulent open weave, but I have this soft succulent. Oh, I'm a happy girl. Now this is the soft succulent that's really wide, but one of my favorite things to do these days, I know you guys are chiming in, I'm giving you another choice, is to cut the ribbon in half or in thirds the long way, because this is really thick and feels really strong to me, but this is nice and delicate, so I kind of like that. Words underneath, simple and clean. That's Jolene. I like that. How about that? That is working for me. Simple, simple, simple. Touch of the green at the bottom, because I have to fill out the bottom. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Rita, you were going to suggest soft succulent? Yes. And I don't have any of the open weave in soft succulent, but I do have this one, and I think it's a really nice alternative. And it's, because I cut it down the middle, it's shorter, thinner. So it makes it a little bit more delicate. Okay, let's grab some glue dots and make this baby happen. Let's get this one done. One of the greatest satisfactions that I got out of paper crafting when I first started was that satisfaction of completion. So now the other thing I actually like when you cut it down the middle is you get these fun little filaments that you can use in all kinds of fun ways. I'm not gonna use them this time, but wrap that around the back. Okay, and then I think I need to pop this up too, give it a little dimension. So let's do that. I'm gonna use the other edge, the thick edge. Get those on there and pop it up quick. Throw a few more in here. Okay, let's just look at it first. I always have to look at it. There's my sentiment. Oh, I'm liking it. I am liking it. You like the soft succulent, Sue? I get to see Sue tomorrow morning. Hi, Sue. So glad I get to see you tomorrow morning. We get to craft and play. I'm so glad you're coming to play. Let's see. Okay, all done there. Okay, so there we go. And then, now if I wanted to mess around with these little filaments, I could fold them over, like stick them under my sentiment. That's kind of a cool look. Let's just do it. Let's put a little adhesive on the back side of this. Now that I'm holding my little filaments there, I have to hold them in place. Let's just do it. Trying to hold them all squished up there. Always put your adhesive down before you mess with something like this. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that, it's kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun. Get it under there a little bit more. It's a subtle element, but I do love my texture. So let's get it in there. All right, we're gonna call that done. You need the decal die, yeah. Yes, it's a fun one. Okay, so there we go. There's my floating strips with the Fitting Florets suite and my original too. So different, right? This is a lot more complicated, really, because I've got those pieces and course, the die was causing me trouble getting it cut, but all worked out in the end, right? So fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that project. More complicated than I thought it was going to be, but we did it. And thank you for your help. All right, I am going to, before I turn the camera around, I wanted to show you all the goodies and things that I got when I was out on stage. So for those of you who are not interested, if there are any of you, you can tune out and just so you know what I've got going on. Here's the little quick reminders. Seasonal sale ends tomorrow, the Black Friday sale that I'm doing. You can take advantage of by tomorrow and get a free stamp set from me and get a better value. You can get the Graceful Tiles PDF download available as an instant download. There's a link to actually pay for it in the description of this video. So you click on it, pay, you're going to get the download immediately. Isn't that fun? It's $15, by the way. And there are 5 projects in there. All right. And then the fitting florets, if you're interested in that class, make sure you register soon so that designer paper doesn't run out, because again, I'm going to order as I go, so I'll get it for those people who want it. And then share, tag, follow, and like on Facebook and YouTube, please. All right, so I am going to grab some of the fun things that I have to show you from on stage. Set those aside. So we got this lovely celebration set. I think this is one of my favorite celebration sets for free. This was in our little bag that we got for attending on stage. We also got this hand-drawn dots. Love all the variation in those dots. This is a set in the mini catalog that goes live in January. And then we also got this set, which is in the mini catalog. And this was an all-present giveaway, so everybody got that. So fun, right? It actually kind of coordinates with the framed florets. Has kind of a similar look. So those might be fun to play with together. All right, what else? We got this lovely bag. It's a sort of faux leather bag, I guess. It's got a pocket in the back, big pocket in the back. And what was in there was this lovely thick notebook with the pattern on the side. So the notebook fits in the back so nice and evenly. And this is the kind of bag where you can use it to wear it crossbody, which I love to do because it's just a lot safer and you don't have to worry about it falling off your shoulder and holding your shoulder up and all that good stuff. So anyway, just a little look at the inside. It needs a few more pockets in my opinion, but you know, I like lots of pockets. That's just my thing. All right. I get to show you the cover of the celebration brochure and the mini catalogs. I'll show you that in a second. But we all get these little tags to tell us, to sort of recognize us for our achievements. I got to walk the stage for my incentive trip earning. Again, that's a challenging accomplishment, if you will. Very small percentage of demonstrators earn it, but you all helped me. Those of you here in the group, you know who you are, by supporting me in earning that incentive trip. So yeah, so I got all these little taggies, you know, to wear on my lanyard for the event. Okay, let's see what else do I have to show you. We got this lovely pen that I've been using, and I love the way it writes. I'm so happy. It's nice and heavy, pretty color. So fun. Okay, let me show you some of the cards that I got. These I just kind of, people gave them to me. I didn't have any swaps, but I was fortunate to have some very generous people who were sharing their creativity with me. So this is one of the cards. I actually don't even know what the products are that were used here. And I don't even have a name on the back, but so fun, right? This, of course, uses the fitting florets. You can see how it's being used there in its more traditional way. And the Posies embossing folder in the back. Embossing folders are on sale, so that one would be on sale. Isn't this sweet? This was for my birthday, because my birthday was on Sunday, and Mary Beth actually bought a cake that had my my logo on the front. I didn't get a picture before it was cut, and I was so sad, but it was a beautiful cake. The logo looked great. And of course, this somebody gave me this beautiful card for my birthday. And this one is from our very own here in the group, Laura Lee. I saw your name flash by. Thank you, Laura Lee, for the birthday card. So I'm glad you're here. And this was Pam's swap. I'm pretty sure, Pam, you know, right? This was Pam's swap. She gave it to me. And then Jennifer, which was a friend of Pam's, who gave me this one as a little table gift or whatever. And I had never met Jennifer. She was very sweet. We had a nice time together at the table. We get these pins. We got these pins in our bag from Stampin' Up. And then we got to make one of the new card kits in the catalog. So this is it. And I actually really like it. And I'm usually kind of a snob when it comes to kits, right? I like all the you know, custom made stuff. I tweaked it just a little bit, but it's pretty close to the exact design, kind of repositioned things a bit. But I love the clock and the sort of vintagey look and this map and the globe right there. So fun. I love this kit. This is the newest kit in the Stampin' Up! Kit collection. So that was what we did as make and takes at the event. And check out those fun little metallic embellishments. Super fun. All right. And, you know, one thing I have not mentioned is I am going to be doing my Taste of a Sweet product shares. In fact, I was figuring out what's going to go into each one of them last night. So stay tuned for more on that soon. Now, this was a little gift from somebody who attended the Creative Extravaganza, Robin Lacey, who I don't know if I saw her name here today, but so sweet. I mean, it's a little book. I was so touched, and she wrote a nice little note on the inside thanking me for the event. Robin has been sending me cards and corresponding with me and doing things with me online for the longest time, and so it was such a treat to meet her. And if you're out there, Robin, I just loved meeting you and getting to know you and Linda, who you came with. So lots of fun stuff. Okay, now this was my very favorite little gift from people who were there, and this was Pam who made this. So this is a little votive holder, so it has a little votive in the back, but you can't really tell as well on camera, but it's just the cutest little thing. I want to make this. I think it's so cute. So thank you, Pam. Pam left it at our table spots on stage for each of us that were there. So this was this was my prize patrol winning. Isn't this beautiful? It's Night of Navy ribbon, and it's got this really pretty shimmer to it. Just love it. You have the pattern for the lantern, Kimmy. I'm going to have to make that. Okay, and then, let's see, I've got the cover of the catalog to show you guys, and then this amazing paper, which was another all-present giveaway. It's called the Dry Brushed Metallic 12 by 12 paper, and it's going to be in the mini. And check this paper out. It's just crazy paper. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it, but it goes with this sweet something desert. I kept calling it dessert. It was a running joke for the whole time because I misread it the first time. So funny. I'm looking for like ice cream or cake or something like that, and it's like a Southwesty kind of theme thing. So anyway, I know this is a little bit blinding. I especially love this blue one. So fun. This paper is going to be fun to play with. All right, so there's that. Probably the paper, you would have to stamp StazOn on this if you're going to stamp anything on it, or use it as a background because it does have sort of embossed elements on it. It's shiny and smooth and non-porous a little bit. All right, last but not least, we got our mini catalog. This is going to be the July to April mini catalog that goes live the very beginning of January. And of course, I'll be doing the product shares from this. There are 8 suites, but I may be doing some variety shares as well for some of the embellishments in designer paper that are not included in a suite. And then this is the celebration brochure. I can't show you inside. That's one of the rules Stampin' Up! Has. Oh, you love the desert paper? Yes. Oh, you got yours yesterday. Oh my gosh, you're so close to Stampin' Up! I'm jealous. I have to wait until Monday to get mine. So I didn't do expedited this time. So those are the catalogs. I do have some pictures of what was on display, which I will share. I have not yet shared them, but I will share those so people can see them. All right, I'm going to just wrap it up, turn the camera around, and let you guys go on your merry way. Let's see. This is my challenge. Okay. All right. and I didn't press the finish button and abruptly end the video by accident. I'm going to celebrate every time I don't do that, because I've done it a few times and it's not only is it embarrassing, but it's really annoying. So anyway, all right. Well, thank you guys for joining, and I hope you enjoyed the floating strips card today, and that you will go and make one. If you make one, you know, don't use the dies I used, because they're a little bit harder to do. But the ones that I used on those other two cards were the stylish shapes, which is just a stitched edge shapes, and then the layering circles worked beautifully as well. No problem cutting through. You may still want to pass it through a couple of times back and forth, make sure it cuts well. Yeah. And for all the things going on, make sure to just check out the description of this video. And again, like, share, follow, tag friends, all that good stuff to spread all the paper crafting goodness that is shared here. So, all right. Well, I will be back in 2 weeks. Next week is Thanksgiving, so I would be remiss if I did not say I'm so grateful for all of you for all throughout the year, not just now, but all throughout the year, for playing along, for joining in, for sharing your opinions and your creativity with me. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. And I will look forward to seeing you back here in 2 weeks on December 1st, which is my next Facebook Live video. Alrighty, have a wonderful evening and happy crafting. Mwah. Bye.